Guru Nation, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share. It really means a lot to me. It is ad-free permanently on my channel. Make sure you subscribe. All I ask in return is your subscription, please. So, I got a question. Can you create a video sharing your tips on building a personal brand in this industry? And I've actually done a long, like 30-minute video on the power of branding, both for your site and for yourself, on my channel, so make sure you check that out. The person who left this question, I know who they're going to be watching. Just ask me for the link somewhere on Instagram or somewhere, and I'll send it to you. But I'll make a shorter one. So this is just personal brand, not research clinics or anything. Personal branding is essentially done by networking. And you could network physically, meaning go to conferences, meaning Save Our Sites conference. Shameless plug, I own it. I'm one of the co-founders, but it's super affordable. We're actually going to start doing more local regional meetups, so it's definitely something worth checking out. But also to give a little shout out to the competition. ACRP and SOCRA have their own regional chapters, and those are free meetups that they do, usually monthly or quarterly, and you don't even have to pay to go to those things. So you start going to places like this, talking to like-minded people about what it is that you do in the industry, what they do, get to know other people. Building a personal brand essentially is networking, either the old school way that I just mentioned or the new school way, such as using digital media like LinkedIn. This person left a comment on YouTube, but LinkedIn is probably the most effective because it's the most robust marketplace in our industry. And you just leave comments on people's posts. There's probably 36 or so influencers on LinkedIn in our space. Read what they say, be mindful about what they say, leave a honest, genuine comment. Once you do that a few times on the same person, you could reach out with a message, let them know who you are, what you do, what you admire about them, how you can help them, maybe how they can help you, and then start looking at the other people who comment on those influencers' posts, because those other people who comment, maybe they're not influencers themselves, but they are like-minded people like you. And those are people that don't get messaged as often. And those are people that you can start developing relationships with, because a personal brand just means people know who you are, right? And if you're known as someone who is thoughtful, insightful, or just curious, you're developing your personal brand. As you start growing in your career, you can start contributing more as far as content is concerned. But there's nothing wrong with contributing as far as content is concerned in the form of questions and in the form of messages, as long as it's not spam. Don't do the copy and paste and let's send this off the same thing to 100 influencers. It's not going to work. Do it genuinely. People can smell that. People can definitely spot that out. That's how I would do it. In-person meetups, virtual meetups on Zoom. There's also monthly things like Latinos in Clinical Research, where we have monthly live streams where you can meet other people, and that's really, those live streams are where you can get in the comments live with people. And you can even message, like someone who just left a comment on a live stream, you could message them and say, hey, I'm watching the same thing you are. You know, what do you think about this? And that's what LinkedIn's for, and that's what social media is for. So, old school way of in-person, regional meetups, there's Zoom meetups, there's LinkedIn live streams, there's LinkedIn comments, LinkedIn posts. That's the way I would do it. You might even be able to find some people's emails who write for publications or who post things on like things like Applied Clinical Research, or Center Watch has a newsletter. But the ways I mentioned that I spent the majority of the time on this video is probably the way to go. And as you start growing, you can start producing more original content yourself. And that is the more, I guess, typical meaning of personal brand. But personal brand doesn't have to be content creator either. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.